as humanity in general starts recognizing
Mhm.
that the quantum field actually works and is actually in use in your daily life, is used in manifestation, is used in stopping wars or starting wars, and and communities coming together, all work on this quantum field, right? Just like
Yeah.
the monkeys on the certain islands that communicate, but they can't see each other, they can't hear each other, but the energetic learning happens across distances. And so I think that quantum entanglement is not a new thing. It's just we're giving it a name now.
Hello, welcome to Conversations with Neuvias. My name is Carol. Today we have the lovely Marge.
Hi.
And our lovely topic today, or what our conversation is going to be about, is quantum entanglement.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot, but we never really did a whole podcast about it.
No, we sure haven't. And the good thing is, like me, I was a little confused when we were talking about it. So we'll start off, Marge, with what quantum entanglement means in simple terms.
What it actually is in simple terms. In simple terms, quantum entanglement is when you've got two particles or two things that have been entangled. It doesn't matter how far the distance is they are apart, they're forever connected. So what you do to one affects the other. The thing of it is, if you think of that in bigger terms, we are all part of an entangled universe. So what we have, I'm entangled with you because parts of us have been melded together over the years of
Mhm.
communicating and dealing with each other. And what your communication is with other people, your reactions with other people, and like your friends and your family and stuff, automatically that entanglement it becomes like a web. So everything is attached to everything.
Now,
And it's the only communication with quantum entanglement,
mhm,
only thing that they have found so far that is faster than the speed of light. It's
yes.
instantaneous. That's what Einstein called scary movement at distance, something like that. Spooky. He called it spooky.
Yeah. So that's, when I think about it too, I had to step back and figure out what it means, and then I had to get back just so basic. So, we're all connected, and that's the way I look at it. We're all connected. Somebody's energy is going to rub off on your energy, and somebody's thinking about you, then that energy is gonna be connected to you in some form, and so somebody might be thinking about you, and immediately that person comes to your mind, and so
Right?
that's kind of just a simple way to really think about what we're talking about today.
Yeah, that is exactly it. This is where telepathy and intuition really
Mhm.
intermingle with the science part of things. Or
Yeah,
science is actually starting to catch up with the spirituality side of things, the Eastern philosophies. It's quite interesting. It's fascinating to me.
no, it really is, because science tries to keep the spiritually part of it out of there, but they're realizing that there is actually more than meets the eye here.
Yeah,
What is going on in reality. So,
yeah. Well, science deals with physical things mostly,
hmm,
physical things, and if you don't have a way to measure it, you can't really make a scientific study about it. Just like the soul, just like telepathy and that kind of stuff. There's no way to measure it. They have to do it anecdotal, even if they've designed experiments to prove it. There's still no way of measuring it. So they don't know how to measure certain things. This they found some measurement too, and it's interesting.
it really is. I mean, I think some of the common claims that were the experiences, Mark, like we're talking about, is just the distance healing, the one that you do. Distant healing is a part of that
Hmm.
quantum entanglement.
Right.
So is prayer. Prayer. People pray all the time, and that love that they're sending, or those intentions that they're sending, to someone far away, like the distance healing. It makes people feel better, or people praying for others. It helps. It helps in the with whatever they're going through in that moment. So
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
yeah. even like you had spoken about earlier, the telepathic stuff that's going on, or the instant knowing. There's a lot of people that are now coming to fruition that know about that instant knowingness, and then you wonder like, why do I know that, or how, what is going on?
Yeah, and a lot of times you just say, "Oh, that's women's intuition." They used to just call it women's intuition. Well, it's not woman's intuition; it's human's intuition, right? And
Yes.
because we have words, which are really restricting, the words really restrict how we communicate.
Mhm.
If we could communicate completely with the feeling of stuff, we'd get a lot better understanding of what the other person or the other community or whatever entity was trying to communicate with us. What we'd understand them a lot more if you listened with your heart instead of with your ears.
Yes. Heart,
You know?
people. It's about the heart.
Yes, yes, and that's where I think that's where the quantum entanglement. When we talk about quantum entanglement, it's about that connection with the earth, with the stars, with other people. That's why the mood of the day will impact everybody. So if we raise our mood, it's going to raise the whole community's mood, not
Oh
just
yeah.
us.
Hmm. That's why I think too, like March, when we have Earth Day. Earth Day just happened this past week. A lot of people pray for Mother Earth, and that completely raises Mother Earth's Mother Earth's vibration to where it makes an impact.
Yeah.
I think
You can almost
that
tell her taking a sigh. Ah, I needed that good feeling.
yes, yes, that connectingness, like you had said, speaking. There's there's a lot of us. So if we all come together and vibrate on the same frequency, oh my gosh, you can only imagine what could possibly happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be pretty amazing if we could get. And they say it's a three. Is it 3%, 3.2% of a population can impact the entire population? That's not very many people when you think
No,
about.
3% is like nothing.
Yeah, we only need
You
3% of the people to help move us to the next step in evolution.
Mhm.
Pretty cool.
That would be awesome. And I know people out there have tried to, like, hey, we're going to do this on this day or whatever, because of social media being such a huge factor when
Yeah.
it comes to that community trying to build something better and coming together. So
Yeah.
another one, March 2, that I remember is, soul bonding. Sometimes you might meet somebody and instantly just, I know you, and I'm not for sure where I know you from,
Yeah.
or I've
It may not
seen
even be
you.
this lifetime. You don't even know.
Yeah. So
So if you think about it, we're looking at things from such a, instead of looking at it from the bigger picture
mhm.
with the quantum entanglement, you're looking through a straw, not a telescope, a straw. You're looking at a pinpoint part of the universe from our perspective. I'm trying to open that up a little bit by acknowledging that connection with everything really gives you a weird. I think it's kind of weird because if I talk to normal people about it, they look at me like I'm crazy, right? So it's like, what are you talking about? No, you gotta,
Yeah.
if you could see it a little bit higher from a little bit higher perspective, all the things that you see
Hmm.
are not really what's happening. It's not really what's going on.
No, not at all. That's also like a synchronicity. Those coincidences that kind of just happen out of the blue. That's also, a sign of an underlying connection that you may have had with something, or something just kind of happens keeps happening simultaneously. So yeah,
Right?
I think
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
put it out to the universe and the universe will answer
Oh
with
yeah,
those
but be sure
signs
you're
and
putting it out.
synchronicities.
Yeah, but you got to be sure you're putting it out the way that it needs to
Clearly.
be put out there clearly.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
because if
But
you're
you are
just gonna,
entangled with everything. It's amazing when you think about it. I was talking to a friend of mine maybe a year ago
mhm,
about quantum entanglement, and I said, if you think about it, think about water. You take water and you take a cup of water and you throw it in the ocean. Eventually, you're going to get some of those molecules back in your system.
right,
Eventually. through the whole system. Now, if we
Hmm.
think of one person, one perfect person lived a couple thousand years ago, he's in all of y'all. Everybody. Oh, I said all y'all. I haven't said that in a long time. But
That's a Texas. That's a Texas thing.
but if you think about it, you're entangled with everybody and everything
Mhm.
through quantum entanglement, not just physically, energetically.
Yeah.
It all melds together.
Yes. It, it does, but well, also when we are talking about this, it doesn't mean that you're literally entangled, like your souls are entangled together like this. We're trying to like not stress that you're still two people. So
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
kind of clarify that,
If we go too far out, it gets a little wacky. It's because it's beyond our comprehension, right?
right, exactly. Because
If we
it's
could see
like
it like God sees it,
yeah, it's
it
like
would blow
opening
your
a
mind.
can of worms, right, Marge?
Yeah, it does. It does. It's just beyond the human brain's comprehension.
Hmm. So, how do you think interconnectedness may extend beyond the physical world?
Well, like I said, with your spirit and your energy. So when you walk past somebody in the grocery store and you say, "Ooh, they're in a bad mood," they may not have said anything, looked at anything, but you feel it. It's just like when you see a dog in the distance, you can tell if that dog is happy to see you or wary of you and is scared of you. And you
Right,
can tell the difference. That's because of the energy that you're exchanging with that thing, whatever it is, a person or an animal or whatever. You can tell when a um, animal is fearful or when the earth is not well, or when a plant is not well. Not just by how you see it,
right,
but how the feeling is from it. So when you get the interconnectedness going on those multiple levels, it gets a little, it's hard to explain. I think it's hard to explain because it's beyond words to me.
yeah, yeah. No, I get that, Marge. Because in the physical world, one thing I can tell you with me, and I'll give you examples, like so I can see auras, and so sometimes if an aura is like not in the best color, and I see a person walking, it's just the energy, and aura is your energy that you're putting off, and
Yeah.
it's your aura changes all the time unless you're on the going into a much higher frequency depending. But when you're on this kind of frequency here, your aura changes depending on what mood. If you're angry, it's going to be red and so forth. Just to give you an example. So that's why I find it interesting. You can always tell when somebody's off-putting and you're just like, okay, just stand out of the way, or they're in a happy, joyful mood, then you can see the energy with them. So
Yeah.
sometimes it does tend to dampen your spirits when somebody's already in an ugly mood and they're trying to go off on you and you're like in this awesome mood. What I like to do personally is like, that's not my energy. That's I send that energy back because I just don't want any part of that. So that's
Yeah. So you're energetically go talk to the hand.
yeah.
Stop there.
Yes, exactly. So that's just
Yeah.
one takeaway there, that you can look at that interconnection that just extends beyond the physical world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if we think of quantum entanglement in terms of the physical, the energetic, and the intuitive uses, how it is related to all of these things, right?
Yeah.
Quantum entanglements, um, kind of hard to grasp, except for at a molecular level, it's really easy to explain. At a larger level, it's kind of like, oh, that's really kind of way out there. But like
Right.
we said, you're connected to me, I'm connected to you, and we've never met each other face to face, Carol and I. Not face to face. We've never touched physically,
Hmm. Physically, yes.
but we're definitely entangled energetically.
Hmm. Yes, like we're like-minded. That's why. And then
Yeah.
once we get those like-minded people, then more people start evolving, or we're kind of coming into our field of energy. I guess is how you can
Yeah.
say it.
It's interesting.
Yeah. The one thing Marta will tell you too about science, what we're talking about today is, people nowadays like, well, where's your proof, or where's your facts, or whatever, when we're talking about quantum entanglement. And it's kind of hard sometimes to give facts when you just kind of already know what you and I are both know what we're talking about. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, until very recently, there was no quantum ideas until the 1950s, I think it was, is when Einstein was first starting to talk about it on a scientific level.
Hmm.
We haven't had a way of measuring any of it until the last decade. And so they haven't had equipment. They haven't had the knowledge to demonstrate it on a scientific measurement. And so
Yeah.
now they're just starting there, right? They're just getting started with that, but it's opened so many people's eyes saying, "Oh, maybe there's something to this stuff they've been talking about for the last couple 5,000 years."
Yeah. Well, that's like you're saying, there's not been any validation, but like as people are learning that the hands-on healing, or healing from a distance, or the telepathy,
Telepathy, remote viewing,
hmm just shifting all that is, to me, honestly, is just validation enough from the scientific perspective.
right?
But
Now, if the
that's just
okay,
me.
I'm going to go into that government idea. So, government's been using this information a lot longer than we've known that they've been using this information. People talking about it all over the place, where different
Hmm.
governments have used remote viewing to spy on people. It really works. That I'm not sure if that was really along the quantum entanglement line, but it does have something
Uh-huh.
to do with it because we are all connected, and you can zoom in on a spot energetically. I was walking through in the 90s. I was walking through my office. I worked at a chemical factory in the 90s. And I'm walking through this office and talking to Source. And I'm like, I really wish I knew how this worked. And I
Hmm.
heard quantum science. Look up quantum physics. I'm like, quantum physics? I didn't even know what quantum physics was at the time. Didn't
Yeah.
even know it was a thing. And I'm like, quantum? I got to look at the quantum physics. Didn't even know. And so I went and did a little bit of research, talked to one of the scientists there. Now, he was an older guy. He says, physics didn't exist when I was in school. He was a pretty old guy. So I think he said he graduated college in 1923. So he was an older guy. But to have Source tell me you're using the quantum field
Yeah.
to do the healing and to do the communication, it was interesting to me when I didn't know anything about it. Kind of cool.
No, that is interesting, because I mean, you're looking at the psychological, and then you're the emotion or the social part of it, and so you just never have thought. Even with us growing up, I never thought exactly what quantum physics was.
Right.
I watched one of the Marvel movies, and all they talk about is quantum physics, quantum physics,
Yeah.
teleportation, like from one
Universe
from
to
one.
another.
Yeah, and so it's very interesting. There's been so much the Marvel comics have brought out about quantum physics, but and it's interesting because I think people are out there trying to, or scientists, I guess you could say, are out there trying to figure a way to do teleportation from one point to another.
Yeah.
They
But they
they
want to
can't
do
take.
it with they want to do it with machines. They don't even I mean, so if you want to get really serious about it, if you're okay, let's go way out there. I'll just go way out there. Why not? So they want a machine that'll do it for anybody.
Yeah.
right? That's what they're looking for, like on Star Trek, where you could just step on this machine pad and zzz, and you're in another place
Oh yeah.
to teleport them. And there are people that have lived and probably do live now that can bilocate without a machine, but they're at a whole different spiritual level than we are. you know, it's quite amazing. There's not a lot. You got to
Yeah.
be at a whole way up there level.
No, that's yeah. But also find that stuff very fascinating. I think
Yeah.
eventually they had said that we're not even in the future. We're not even gonna have to talk to each other. We can just do telepathy, and that's how we'll be able to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
that
it's
would
funny
be
because
cool.
we do that now. We just don't think that we don't realize we're doing it.
Yeah.
When your friend's thinking about phoning you, and you get that message, oh, I should call so and then your phone rings and it's them calling you.
Hmm.
That's all part of the telepathy. It's telepathy, intuition. They're very similar things. And
Yeah.
I don't know if there's an actual line. It just depends on what definition you use.
That's true. Which kind of brings us to our next question, Mark. What do you think this could mean for like intuition, energy, and human connection
I
using it?
think recognizing, as we learn it, as we start recognizing it as humanity in general starts recognizing
Hmm.
that the quantum field actually works and is actually in use in your daily life, is used in manifestation, is used in stopping wars or starting wars, and and communities coming together, all work on this quantum field, right? Just like
Yeah.
the monkeys on the certain islands that communicate, but they can't see each other, they can't hear each other, but the energetic learning happens across distances. And so I think that quantum entanglement is not a new thing. It's just we're giving it a name now.
Right. I think too, as we're evolving and advancing more, I think a lot of this is opening up even
Yeah,
more so.
yeah. Let's
That's
face it, they wouldn't be spending billions of dollars researching it if it wasn't real,
yeah,
right?
yes, yeah. There's so much out there, Marge. I'm pretty sure we don't even know about. We're still kind of trying to learn some stuff, but
Yeah,
as a whole, I think, or all of us together, like you said, raising that vibration,
just a little bit.
it, there's so much possibilities out there. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, but yeah, so there's that. This could be a whole long 3-4 hour session right here.
Yeah, it'd be easy. We could do that. We could do that with most of our subjects, though, I think.
No, for real. The last one be what living with greater awareness of our impact on others and the world.
We talk about that a lot
Yeah.
here, where, like Carol was saying earlier, be aware of you don't have to absorb the other person's energy. You can send it back to them. You don't have to take it.
Yes.
And you can improve theirs by improving yours. You can improve a whole area around you. You can protect an area around you if you're focused on it. And that's what you want, and that's what you put out into the field so that the field can work on making sure that a space is protected from weather or from hurricanes or from bad guys or whatever. You send
Right.
out that bigger, stronger, happier, more peaceful, loving energy. It impacts everything. And recognizing that these things are true as opposed to somebody's weird thoughts from thousands of years ago, you can see them in your life if you start paying attention. Recognizing those patterns makes a big
No.
difference.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was going to tell you, Marge, which brings me to a quick story. Like Marge always says, I have a story for that already. But so I worked in retail like almost all my life. Yeah, I think I've been in retail 32 years, just to throw it out there. And I've always had customers like when they're in the most irate, you're going to do this for me mentality, or I'm right, you're wrong, because that saying, the customer's always right. and when the employees couldn't handle it, it has to go to the manager. I want to speak to your manager. That I want to speak to your. So, anyways, long story short, I would every time I've come into that kind of situation, they will basically be irate with me. But then, I'm calm, reserved. I'm more collective, and I try to change that energy shift around because I know they're already upset about anything. And then I don't know if it's my energy margin or not, which I'm pretty sure it's my energy, but then I can calm them down and bring them back down a notch, and they're very calm, collective, and very apologetic, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I came off this way, I didn't really mean to, or with your employee or whatever, and the whole mood and the energy just shifts completely.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking about, if you already know you're going into this battle mode, the only way you could do is yes,
Yeah.
take a step back and breathe and said, okay, you know what? I'm going to go in there calm, cool, collective. And then you shift their energy down a notch to where they're like, okay. Because I've had my staff come up, what did you tell them that they just calm down instantly, And I
Yeah, it's
just,
not about telling, it's about energetically
yeah.
relating to them.
Yeah, so just throwing that out there. If you ever have anybody coming out you very upset, be sure that your energy's still in that joyful, loving mindset. Because if you're gonna do anything, be sure you're doing it with love energy. Because that, yeah, takes up a lot.
It solves so many things.
Yes.
It just takes everything down a notch, makes it more mellow.
Yeah. So.
It's a beautiful thing. It's not easy to do. The more you practice it, the easier
Mhm.
it gets. So that's about practicing. We've talked about this probably every podcast. Practice, practice, practice. It's about resetting yourself into a higher vibration, a more loving energy, so that you can visit it. If you get triggered, you can come right back out of that trigger instead of jumping in with both feet.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody, in like in the case you were just talking about, somebody's coming in, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah," and then the other person's going back at them, and you got to come in and go, okay, let's calm down.
Yes. Yeah. Because,
Makes me think of Caesar Milan. How
oh,
he
with
could
the
walk
dog.
into those places with these dogs that are acting all crazy, and he walks in there with his calm, clear energy, and they
Hmm.
go, whoop, okay, we're listening to you because you're the energy we need.
Oh yeah, yeah. He definitely shifts the energy there for like, look, buddy, I'm in control. You're not going
Yeah,
to be in control of this anymore.
right,
You're not running over your owner. I'm in control
right.
now.
And I'm protecting you.
Yes.
I'm here to protect you.
No, but yeah, that's true. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're talking about here today is quantum entanglement. There's so much we could open up with specifically what we're talking about today. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that they're starting to actually do scientific studies or publish scientific studies about it and explaining it, like that double slit um, experiment that they talk about. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
So they put um, I don't know what it was. I'll just describe it in my terms. So it's like having a piece of cardboard
Hmm.
with two slits in it. It had just two narrow slits in it, and a piece behind it, and they shot photons at this board. And when they weren't looking at it, the photons were everywhere. But when they did look at it, they would stop in a certain wave pattern inside that thing. So they say observation. I'm not sure if that's quantum entanglement related actually, but the observation of an item changes its state and its behavior.
Okay.
So the more that you observe your surroundings, the more that you're going to be more trusting of your intuition in certain situations. You got to absorb it a little bit differently.
Oh, is that the one kind of like the guy that does? I can never remember his name, but the guy who does the water when you speak the vibration in the water and it changes and creates
Yeah,
like a
that's definitely energizing with quantum entanglement. Yeah.
yeah. I thought that was just the when he spoke beautiful words and loving words to the water. Oh my God, it just looked so
The
beautiful.
pictures were gorgeous, weren't they? Aren't they?
Yes, they were so exquisite. I was just, oh my gosh, can you? And we're, our bodies are 90% water, or yeah, I think 80% water, or something
A
like that.
lot.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I just find it interesting that, you can get your water bottles, speak loving words to it, so that it'll help your energy feel better.
Automatically. I
Yeah.
charge my water pitcher. We've got a Brita pitcher in our refrigerator. Every time I fill it, I charge it. It makes an impact in the whole, everybody that touches it. And
See.
yesterday we had rain here, and I was charging it. I sat out on my porch and it was charging the clouds. I'm like, hey, let's get the whole neighborhood.
Heck yeah, you want to get them in that loving vibration, because
Yeah,
Lord knows we could use a lot of that right now.
absolutely. Absolutely. I should have gotten some of my local people to help me charge it.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
Oh well.
Well, March, I don't have anything else to add to our podcast. Did you have anything else to talk about?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we covered quite a bit, and I think it's such an interesting subject. I'd love to learn more. I don't know if I want to learn it all because there's plenty of other things in the world to learn. Let the scientists figure out the quantum entanglement stuff. We just know what we know, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
we share what we know.
Yes, we do. And honestly, we're learning and growing every day too. So once we figure out, what Source wants us to talk about, then that's kind of what we grasp for.
That's it. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, my
Thank you
name
for
is
joining
Carol.
us.
Yes. March beat me to the punchline.
I jumped on the gun. I jumped the gun on you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. But you can definitely visit us at www.neuvias.com as always.
And I'm March. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And please leave a comment if you have any comments about any of the stuff that we said. If I said something wrong, please let me know.
Yeah. Well, till next time, much love and light, and we'll see you guys.
Okay, love y'all. Thank you.
Mhm. Bye, y'all.
Bye.